Raise it high up the ladder. Let we set it on fire. A little more calypso. Forget the funk and the disco. A little more limbo. A little more shango. Find the greasy pole. And we don't dance round the maple.
Good evening once again, and welcome to another Oui Culture. Yes, indeed. It's Independence Week. In fact, tomorrow, National Colors Day. And there's going to be a lot of oil long all over the place. You know what I mean? So as I told you earlier, if you're cooking oil long, let me know, right? I want plenty, just one dumpling, 6 pieces of meat, and a piece of breadfruit. Some callaloo, and I good. The guys are here, and tonight promises to be another very, very interesting one. Continuing the conversation we started last week. So, it's a good time to welcome the guys. Doc, what happened, boy?
Hey, bro. I'm good. I'm cool, as the Rastas would say.
Rasta,
yeah,
no. Hold. Let me inculcate you there right now. Rasta doesn't say that. Rasta doesn't say I'm an Irie. So let me get that straight.
Rasta doesn't say Irie all the time. So.
Rasta doesn't say Irie all the time. Iries are Rasta 100.
Yeah. Well, I see the Queen looking independently, nicely clad, independently. But Godfrey, you're missing some. Well, I mean, your background speak. Good night to all the listeners of We Culture. I mean, we are here again to take you on our next journey and our next topic. Well, no, on the same topic. Hopefully tonight you can chime in with your bit. We're hoping to get our guest. I don't know if you would. I'm trying to reach him a while. I have not been able to. But we are here. We have enough forces, enough information to take you to the night show. And of course, you are there. So we are ready to go.
Yes, indeed. Well, I ain't interfering with them people because Saturday somebody meet me quite way and will threaten me. But yes, they threaten me. They say, leave the woman alone. And pint up in my face and thing. Look at it again, and they get juke mouth that thing.
They juke your mouth.
I was about to say that they should have juke your mouth.
Yeah.
But they nearly chuck you up and hop.
What a woman upset me and a woman upset me and tell me, watch, you leave Reece alone and point. I say, Papi Joe. No, Papa, not me again. I don't have nothing to say about Guav and Guav people. So I call it I wash my hand.
At least you're learning.
I wash my hand. I don't say in towel. Good night, Nala.
I want to say good evening to our viewers as well, listeners. Those of you who are on virtually, those of you who are in front of your TV, sitting on your couch, it's always a pleasure to be in your presence in whatever way, form. And again, tonight is supposed to be one of our serious programs, but in every program, no matter how serious it is, I sit among a bunch of jokers. So there's always something that they're making fun of, trivializing. That's Leader Free Special. So let's get on with the program and let's have fun tonight. It's Thursday.
I definitely agree. You know what I mean? We're gonna definitely have a good time. Well, I ain't see the king yet. I ain't know what's going on with him. But I guess he'll be joining us shortly.
Yeah, yeah. He's the king.
Yeah, I was late.
The king does not
Oh,
wait on people. People wait on the king.
he want to make his grand entry.
Grand entrance. That's right.
Well,
Fashionably late, but that is that is what a king does.
well, I have to agree. I have to agree.
So y'all need to put some respect on it and stop this where y'all always telling the man about his lateness and all of that. Have some respect.
We got to put him on our payroll.
Yes. Backpack and you ready.
Backpack and you ready? Backpack and you ready for what? Hey, I look him. Me. I just see he just log on me. And let me tell you, that fella now, he just sit down and watch and listen to hear if we talking about him, and then he come in and history would have caused him to do that, because he knows by now that you and Doc don't sit down and run all about on him. No.
If he decides to watch a bit of the program to see how all you expatiating all yourself,
no, you have it.
He has all rights to do that. Anyways, King, I was just in your defense.
You have it wrong.
King. Kings don't wait on people. People wait on kings. So if you are fashionably late, you are fashionably late because you are a king.
Kings always really last to enter.
Exactly. I don't understand. Always want to run them out.
King without kingdom. King without kingdom. Where the kingdom is? Where the kingdom is?
What's that? The man retired from Calypso this year?
Who retired from Calypso?
I'm asking, but before he answer, who tell him that he could retire from Calypso? Who tell him that? And like he doesn't know that he has to ask permission from the masses as to whether he could take a break or retire.
Me don't bother with him, you just talk this kind of thing, you know.
Bumpy gum, say the right thing, just bumpy gum.
Yeah, that's soon as Sap and Dan Kelly call his name in a line. He get it. He get in the t-shirt. He go down and write.
Nobody calling King name this year.
He go down and write that set and song. He go down and write that set and song and that kind of thing. But I'm not with him to talk that kind of talk. Finley, man.
I can do children. You taking bet?
You are taking bet.
I
think we taking bet or we betting.
Reece calling bet.
Nobody calling your name.
You go see. You go see.
What do you mean? You don't know what I called bet for, you know. Is it for nobody calling his name or that he retire?
Yeah, well, I will tell you. First of all, somebody must call him. That one. Secondly, he can't retire. That two.
And listen, he don't come in and try to be technical because you know he's good. You know the technical thing. Well, he don't retire. Yes, he don't retire. But what he doing is that he continuing to write songs and manage tent and organize presentations. We're talking about, and again, not that you go on stage and sing and give people like a thing one time for 10th launch and all this thing. Not that. We're talking about competition.
I just stay there and beat up on yourself. That way to guess.
Well, the way I see it, I guess he ain't coming. So,
what the hell is that?
I give up for the guest tonight. You know?
So why not try? I did try. So
boys scholar fault.
Where the guest that I have been looking forward to meeting.
I don't understand. Yeah.
Who is
that? You only see the Kakashi in my you see his.
What guess you make?
But Scholar can make any comments on program.
Let me tell you something. You know how old Hennessy is now, boy?
You said
that the right page, he come with experience and wisdom.
That you want them jail me for abuse.
Anyway, why is the word tonight or the phrase or whatever it is?
Alright, so that card is one for he might sound obnoxious, right? He might sound strange, but he might sound simple, like a simple thing, but there's a deeper meaning to it, right? So the phrase for tonight is, I want to see you.
Well,
So for instance, hold on. For instance, yesterday I was by Kenny.
By Kenny?
Right? And a man stay on the other side of the road. Right? And tell me,
I understand that.
I want to see you. Man watching me. Yeah, man
I get you.
watching boy. They tell me I want to see you. So what I mean?
Yeah, doc.
So first we move from our word, we move into a phrase. So that is good.
No,
but I want to see you. No, good, very good. I want to see you is basically expressing an intention to have a serious conversation with you. So I want to see, but that is one way. Meaning that person want to engage you. But you have a next kind of connotation. I want to see you, meaning I'm looking at your deportment. I'm looking to see how you will handle the situation. I want to see how you would emerge out of that. So I want to see you. I find that say enough.
What am I saying, Godfrey?
Hold on. You know Black Prince of Calypso like that? The one in Calypso is
I want to see you.
I want to see you private. And he leave and go by the woman, kind of thing, and then when he reach, she want him to sweep. She had, you know.
So, Scholar, tell me, what other explanation or definition you have for that phrase?
No, I find you captured well. I mean, I would lie. I find your target. I think basically that is. I want to see you means we have something to discuss. You know, so it's not really see. The see in that case is not with eyes.
No.
Nah,
it's to be in your presence, kind of thing.
But as I say, you still have an Reece, you muted.
It's a face-to-face.
Yeah, but that is one. I believe that is one meaning. But he also.
I had to talk to you.
Right.
It could be a telephone conversation. But when they say I had to see
No. I want to see his face-to-face.
It's a face-to-face, and it's something that they want to. It's almost private. It's not for the audience. It's you and them.
Right.
But let me tell you, wherever I tell you that is a more than one barrel. It's a more than one.
But it could be a complaint too. It could be a complaint.
Somebody have something that they believe you can address.
Yes.
So basically, you know, like if someone have
you can help them.
Scholar go and perform. Like me, I would say to Scholar, and Scholar, we will use a practical example. So at your last performance at Legends in Concert, the famous Legends in Concert, I went there and I had certain observation. So I see you on the other side. I say, Scholar, I want to see you. And when I meet you, I say, boy, Scholar, I believe. So there is a conversation that I want to have with you. I want it to have with you. So I'm using that as an example. Scholar, I believe when you're doing your medley, you should include some local Calypsonian medleys. 3 times a year you do the medley, and all the time you're using Trinidad, Barbados, Scholar, next time, I want you to put in some Jamo, some Flying Cloud, and do some medley. That's what I wanted to see you about.
Scholar, I feel that man
Scholar,
wants to tell you that.
Scholar, what I'm just going to tell you, that is not an example, you know. That's a real thing.
Hold on. But here's what. I want to see you, right?
Yeah.
Could be in the present. Like how the man tell me he want to see me and he coming to me. I want to see you.
Yeah.
And he coming now to engage.
Yeah.
But I want to see you could also mean sometime in the past.
No, in the future.
Sometime in the future.
Not in the past, in the future.
In the future.
Sometime in the future.
Yes.
So how you determining what?
Well, no.
Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you. The other day, well, the same thing happened to me. You know. I driving, I was heading to Grandan. So when I reached just before Otway there, you know, you have pedestrian crossing just before Otway going down, right? So there's this guy who's about to cross, so I slowed down so he could go across. When he reached the pedestrian crossing, he stopped. I want to see you. So I know it's not now. Because I drive in, he go anyway, but he want to see me. So I know maybe sometime in the future we go see.
But I think when the person say that, they mean they are basically asking you about your availability when you are available. So if you are able now, like example, the guy by Scala, by Calico, if Scala had time, he say, well, come over, then the conversation can be had. But if Scala is not available, because he's suspecting Scala is not available now, or he might not be available, so it is a futuristic.
That whether they are available or not, man coming, you have to see the man.
But let me tell you, this whole thing about the futuristic thing, a lot of time, lying, they just want to talk, they just want to stoop to bump the gum according to Reece, you know. They don't want to see you for nothing, you know, but they have to say something.
Okay. If they want to bomb the gun their line, probably
but they don't want to see you. They just figure they have to tell you something. So they say they want to see.
But that is the see they want to see. They want to tell you something.
They don't have to tell you.
But I agree with Doc in a kind of way. I want to see you is kind of like a man making an appointment.
Yes.
That is what it's supposed to be.
An appointment.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. But for example, let me tell you, that man that tell me you want to see me, I don't know the man, you know.
Nobody that come.
I don't know the bad. Listen, the bad just see me and
Don't you find that usually when people tell you that, it kind of like it's only when they see you, they remember they want to see you. Because it's like they want to see you, but they won't call. You have no idea before until you see them in the moment.
And they want to see you.
Realize that they had to see you. They want to see you.
They don't want to see you. They just talk, they want.
So the intention is, usually it is something that they had going through their mind. Now that they see you in the present, they want to inform you that they've been thinking about talking to you about some matter. They're lying.
Sometimes. But I tell you, at times they will lie. When they see you, they just figure they have to say something. So they say that's the easiest thing, because the bottom line is, I want to see you is heavily, as we agree, futuristic. Yes. So they know that don't happen at all.
Yeah, because let me tell you, you have other derivatives of it, you know. Because a man could ask you, when I could come and see you.
When we go see?
When we go see, yeah? Because in a lot of things we just use see in this kind of way. So, for example, when people go in by the doctor, You see, they're going to see the doctor.
Yeah, they're going to see doctor.
Yeah.
I'm going to see a doctor. So if you take it, if you take it in your real rough farm, a man not going to buy doctor, you watch doctor and go in. That's what but that's how we don't we speak. So a man say you're going to see a doctor, but if you're going to see a doctor, you're going to attend to us. You're going to attend.
Yeah, you're going to get to attend.
You're going to attend.
But there again, if you go in and attend, who gets the attention? You are the doctor. If you go in to attend.
You are in the attention.
No, but if you go in to attend.
You see why you just brought up this scholar, and that is why sometimes one can be mistaken, like in communicating with somebody from a different culture.
That's right.
That you make those kind of expression and somebody don't understand it, right? And they can take it literally, and they're wrong. I mean, we just use it. So if we, Scala and I walking down the road, I say, Scala, move in the road, boy. Now, literally, I mean, I think Scala would understand that, go to the side, something coming. But if you had to take that literally.
Coming going the road.
Why, actually, why they say, by come out in the road? Come out.
No, come out in the road is literal.
No, but if
Come
you
out in
tell
the road
somebody
is
come out in the road, you asking them to go into the road, yeah?
Right, yes, right.
That's right.
We have a call on the line. Let's hear what they might have to say on it. Oui Culture, good evening. All right, well, we lost that caller. Yeah, guys. So, boy, an event, Reece, I want to see you. So, you will tell me when we go see. so, I feel it's a good time to hand over to Doc. What are you saying?
Is that see a man? Eh? Is that see a man?
I want to see. Hold on. Let's go to the telephone. Oui Culture, good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon, the panel.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Scholar was saying, President, good afternoon to you, that my king. Reece, good afternoon.
Yes. Good evening.
And Nala, good afternoon to Godfrey.
Yes,
good
good
afternoon.
evening.
Doc, I like the topic. The reason why, this is German here, Scholar, and the whole panel. I go to tune in last week because that conversation all they had last week is so sensitive, because I was around 11, 12 years, I think around 11, 1974, the 21st of January, Bloody Monday. And that, what all they talk about, have different compartments about it. But let me jump the gun there. That conversation you all have tonight is very interesting, because if a man tell you he want to see you, the man already seen you.
Mm-hmm.
If he watching you, exactly. But if a man watching at you and he say, Reece, I want to see you, he already watching Reece, so he see you. I want to check what I'm saying.
But
the long and the short story, I would have tell the man, well, look at you watching at me.
Nah.
That's what scholars should have tell him. Well, you're seeing me, you're watching at me.
Nah.
So I don't think I told scholars to bother with him again. You understand? That is my take on that, because that is where a lot of people does fail interview. Because good looks and dress properly don't make you say you could pick up a front desk work just so, because your language are so bad. The person who doing the interview, the international, so right there from your start, they know they don't want any people front desk in the hotel. You're good looking, you're well dressed, but you're not qualified to address people. The other one is, I want to ask Godfrey or Scholar, I think I know, any audio could tell me which way market is situated, between which street and which street? I don't want to change the topic, but any all you could?
Market Hill.
I would say Church Street, and St. Jules Street. Is St. Jules that's a street?
No. Market Hill
that street
is
between.
That should be Grenville Street.
Grenville Street, yeah. Grenville Street, yeah. Sorry, Grenville Street, yeah.
No, not the bottom of Market Hill. What you're claiming, the top. Between which street and which street?
Yeah, wrong. They not really called Cockroach Alley.
Well, it's the end. Is the end of Lucas Street and one of the and the cross of Church Street. That's where it starts.
Scholar, what are you saying? Scholar, let me hear you.
Boy, let me tell you something. If you ask me where Lally is and them kind of place, I could tell you.
Let me tell you. None of you day, based on how y'all doc none of you seems to know it. I'm a real tongue dog. I know every street from Lucas Street to Village Road, the whole of Green Street, the whole of Turtle Street, where we talk about the carnage there, but it have no street in Grenada named Market Hill. Listen to me. It have no street in Grenada named Market Hill.
Yeah, you have a hill like a Market Hill, no street.
No, I will tell you, the name of what you all call Market Hill, or people in Grenada, you know that language don't come with my mouth, that Market Hill thing, because I grew up calling it the right name. The name of that street is Constitution Hill. So all you know something now. The name of the hill is Constitution Hill. The middle of the so-called Market Hill, all it is called, and it is called the Cockroach Alley. The name of the is Pointing Street. That's the name of the. The reason why it get the name Cockroach Alley is two tourists all come off a boat, go through the alley, and they catch two cockroach. And the many times people start calling it Cockroach Alley. But Pointing Street. Anyhow, I'm listening. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Gola. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
So Constitution Hill.
Yeah, but Constitution
Exchange,
Hill,
man.
Constitution Hill got christened because that is right where the market is. So I guess that is why they call it Market Hill, because the market is right at the food there, right? So after that time, nobody our Constitution.
Well, what you call it?
Yeah, they got the name Constitution Hill because of the Parliament building. Parliament building on Church Street.
Because imagine you walk over that hill and you reach up there, and a man asks you anything, you can't say Constitution.
By the time you hit Steve, you fall long enough.
So Market Hill is a simple thing. I mean, but I guess people who know tongue, I don't know nothing about tongue. So, but I have a feeling, truth have a ring. I have a feeling that is correct,
Yeah, it's possible.
Maybe when you're going down, you could call it Constitution Hill because you will have your breath. When you're going up, you have to say Market Hill. Yeah. I just walk up Market Hill.
That's if you're in fall when you're going down. You like say you're down.
But I know Doc wanted to respond to the whole front desk and whatever issue. I could have seen Doc chewing at the whole beat. Doc pulling on the whole reins, but Doc wanted to respond. I could see your head walking.
I find it's time we hand over to Doc. So Doc.
Respond to that, Doc, and then let me because I know you was responding.
So we're missing our guest tonight, unfortunately, because I think he had a lot to offer. But for those that are joining us this week and were not fortunate to be on last week's program, I urge you to go back and look at it because I think it is very, very important, the discussion we had last week. What we did last week was to look at the road to independence. So look at basically the life of Gary from 1951, his emergence. Our guests labeled him as a visionary. and basically claiming that he brought a lot of goodies to Grenada. But amidst that, there were some obstacles on the way, and some Grenadians were split between seeing Eric Machugiri as a savior, and some of them saw him as a villain, as a dictator. So this week we are going to continue on that line, basically trying to balance, look at some of the other good things that he did. Basically from looking at from 1967 onward, and then looking at some of those activities that emerged that that actually tainted him or have him in some quarters as a dictator. So he actually was this guy that you either love dearly, and for others you really hated him. So that is where we are going to start the program tonight. Now, as I said, my role was basically tonight was to introduce the guests and let it go on her role. And I'm now in the unfortunate situation of having to
use the guest. Use the guest.
I'm the guest. So you want to interview me? I was supposed to lead the guest, but tonight the guests are me. So we wanted to put Gary on a scale. And at the end, you would decide. We also want to look at some of the conclusion of February 7, 1974, on what it was like for all of us. But so let us look at some of the things that Gary achieved, and what we would say that people endeared to him, saw him as a visionary, saw him as a hero. Now, some of it I definitely would leave out or would not be able to remember because I wasn't prepared to do that. But I think we still can carry through. I would get the help of Scala and Reece and Godfrey to fill in. And of course, you're the guest that would help us to fill in. But coming out of Aruba, Gary formed the trade union. And some of those things and them that endeared people to him was, one, he was able to shift the working wages of Grenadian through his advocate in the union from 42 cents for men and 36 cents for women to 125 for women and 180 for men. And that to me is a very significant increase. Apart from that,
can you stick a pin? Why the difference? I think it's important for us women, especially of today, for you to give an explanation as to why there was a difference. Is it that they did different work? Or is it the usual sexist thing that men get paid more than women?
Well, I think scientifically, biologically.
Oh, no.
Hold on. No, you want me to answer. Answer in the way I want. Don't tell me how to answer.
No. Because if you and I sitting at a desk doing a desk job, you can't tell me nothing about scientifically, biologically.
No, I think
fingertips to type on a computer.
No, but you see, I think the work was a little different because it was basically a lot of the estate workers, and from what I know, on the estate, the men did like the cutlassing and the forking and things like that, and the women would more carry load. For example, when they pick cocoa, the women would carry the cocoa and things like that. So it was a little different,
today,
maybe along that line.
Today, one of my colleagues explained to me about how strong women fingers used to be, because we were the gatherers. We were the ones that used to plant. We used to go and dig soil and stuff, and we used to use our hands, right? Right now, you see the nails?
But we see, but we see, we were the ones that used to go and hunt. We were the one that used to go and hunt the wild animals.
Yeah, when all you go and hunt, all you used to go and sit down on that tree and eat fruits and waste time and wait until all you see some animal pass by, shoot a little arrow, and that's it. That's all used to do. The women used to be toiling.
Reece, woman finger strong. All right, fine. Man finger strong, man wrist strong, man hand strong, man shoulder strong, man chest strong.
And
When
and
we
and,
were strong.
and man
When-
and
when
man
a
and man used to drink strong rum.
All you want to talk
And
about
man drinking strong rum.
I think the work was definitely divided in such a way that the men were given the heavier task to do, the more laborious work, and so their labor was basically valued more. I think
You
I just want
you see what you're saying there? Valued more.
because it was harder work.
But we see even as hold on, even as recent hold on. Reece,
Processes.
but we see
Right?
even up to recently and now. So for example, the people who do or on the Gary days when they had what you call travel, the men were the one who were cutting the grass and clearing the drain, and the women used to go with their tray, pick up the grass and the thing, and then they dispose of it.
You all are going to allow me to speak for a minute because all of all are trying to speak every time I try to speak on that topic. No, I'll tell all you them already.
Reece,
I'll go back
Reece.
back to the reason why women have free before midnight and all you have to pay. It have nothing to do with whether women could pay or not. So back to the cutlass thing. It have nothing to do with whether we could cutlass by the side of the road when we're doing travel. It's just that all you manish, all you like to feel like all you strong and everybody else. So all you taking walk, but all you sexist. Because even today, I could understand you say on the plantation, the walk, the men used to do that and whatever. The value, I argue in that value thing there. Because if the process means that at the end of it, it has to package, and it's the women that packaging it, if it don't package, how is going that value? How is going that value? It's not packaged, so you cannot go out and bring it to sale or whatever. It's valuable. But you see, it's man that own the plantation, man with their sexism that continue with this thing because today we are all typing. So how you getting more money than me? When both of us type.
But hold on, Reece, why are you saying that? Let me tell you something here. When them men them cut the grass, the woman don't must pick it up, but them just bring the corn, the donkey, and they eat the grass right there, you know. So the woman don't necessarily have to do it.
They don't have no cow and donkey.
What do you mean they have no cow and donkey?
They have no cow or donkey anymore to bring anywhere.
Godfrey, may I for a second, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I need to put some early perspective and some sense into what's going on here. So I understand Reece always she fervor.
Fervor.
Yeah, she fervor. And she don't look for little thing to make melee about woman and all this kind of thing. You. Reece getting on somehow dark. As though is you are do that too, and you are do it too, and Godfrey are do it too. Reece ask you why the thing was done. You saw just why it was done, and Reece causing you. You language. Reece, it was a fact. It called the money, woman used to get, it called the money, man used to get. You ask him why. That suggests, well, because woman, you start to now think as though it's that what give the woman like a drop of money and give the man big drop of money.
Because Doc was not in that era, he needs to be careful how he's answering. Because Doc, the way he's answering is like he's representing them.
Go ahead with your oration, do what I receive, because I know you don't know nothing about that.
But,
well, then he must know what he's saying.
And man,
as if like he was there. And he's proud to defend. You know, he's supposed to say things like, you know, Reece, unfortunately, that is how it was back in the time. But no, he's telling me things about the work was considered more valuable. No, you can't be a man of today and talking that. Say
the work was
considered to be more valuable. That's why you pay. There are difference in the pay receipt.
Well, that you know why it was considered more valuable? Because it's man that is running it. If it was women that are running it, they would have known that even though the man cut the branches and the women pick up the nutmeg and they separate the base from whatever and they wash and they dry.
That did not say.
So no, he could cut out all the nutmeg tree. No, you're not stopping me. He could cut out all the nutmeg tree and all of them could stay on the ground and rot. If the women don't wash it, pick it, dry it, separate it, and package it. What are you telling me about valuable?
So
Yeah.
let me move. I just want to say because Reece tickled me a little. No, hold on. Reece tickled me a little. I just want to say. So no. Hold on, Scholar. I just want to make one little point as it relates to that. I believe we could settle that issue once and for all. Equal pay, equal work. Everything we're doing is the same. Man should get the same wages as women. Women would compete and do everything that man is doing. So when we have to build building, they must raise all the cement bags and bring it up.
The Prime Minister was talking about that the other day.
No, hold on. When we have track and field and we have football, there is no distinction. We should not have no distinction. There should be no track and field for men and no track and field for women. Everybody would run in the same race. We would do the same thing.
You losing me after you said equal work for equal pay. That's it. Equal work. But no, in your furtherance, you want to make the work look like it don't equal.
Because it was different and it was not equal.
But no, you want to make the work look like it don't equal.
But Reece, let me ask you a question. That phrase, equal work for equal pay, what does that really mean?
It means that if you and I are doing the same tasks, right? Our job descriptions are the same. You're like, let's say I'm a marketing communications officer and you're a marketing communications officer.
Reece, you remove
well, that's it. But Reece, that's the point.
But Doc, you just said equal work for equal pay. But then you continue with your sarcasm about, so when it have that happening and when it had that happening, as if you're trying to allude to when we're doing sports, yeah? Who running 100 meters? When man run 100 meters, it's not 100 meters women running. They're running 50. It's 100.
They're running slower.
It don't matter, they're running.
So I said, put all of them in the same race. You want equal.
But Reece, but then,
and it continue to be that way.
You're just beating up yourself.
Yes, and
as far as I'm concerned, you see you. Anytime I get a chance, I take him back my ribs. You do all that. You have my ribs and you only can't get you don't have no what you Reece, you don't read Bible. Because you read Bible, you don't have to there.
The piece of apple you get.
Reece,
we're supposed to.
Reece,
all you claim, all you give us a whole rib, and all you
this something are very important.
All you down the road was a piece of apple.
She disturbing a nice thing with
yes, a nice flow of information. And I don't prepare already for that. I try to get my flow.
It's only melee when it is against you all. That one is melee.
Okay, Reece, you win. Reece,
let me ask you a question.
I don't think you win. I win.
Hold on. Reece, let me ask you a question now. Why you Reece, let me ask you a question. Why you think that women going in heaven before men?
Because we good?
No.
And all you good?
No, man. You never hear the Bible. Hold on. You never hear the Bible speak about peace on earth and goodwill to men? That is why. Because woman go in heaven first. That's the only way we go have peace on earth.
Well, pray that all reach.
Anyway.
Let me give Reece a win and then we continue.
No, don't give me a win.
No, it's not all. Let me tell you, it's not all woman. And let's get that clear. It's not all woman. Reece. No.
Yeah, boy, you know Reece going to have yourself. You are next Reece going to make coffee with garden.
Watch me. Today I make a piece of conversation with him, you know. I say he does come, you know. He does come. But he doesn't always come when I want him to come. And I ask why.
That boy, I don't think he's part of that.
Guys, let us go back to the topic. Please. Reece, Reece, calm down.
Yeah, Doc, let's go ahead and let's see all of them nice things I'm going to
Let me ask a question, though. You don't know. Reece, read some.
Well, Scholar, we just start.
Oh, just that, not 14 past 9 anymore, I think.
On comments?
Yeah, read some comments.
Yes, we had Marilyn saying, want to see you. Maybe you have something to discuss with you. Maybe it is serious, etc. And we had Reece saying, come out in the road is a French Creole patois expression. The word for in and from was the same depending on the meaning of the sentence. Oh Lord, I almost lose that there. Hold on. Right. Depending on the meaning of the sentence. Over time, it's the meaning from got lost, and it was just used for in. Hence, we say come out in the road rather than come from the road. Creole has so much influence on the things we say today. Then we had Betty Ann Court. Betty Ann Court seems new. She said he want to lose people with that name. Marilyn said, the woman who called, she's right. Oh, and it's a man that called? He's a man. So, Joe man. Yes, Joe man. And Marilyn is saying again, if a woman and a man doing the same job, they both should pay the same. And we rest our case, Marilyn. The defense rests and the case closed. The judge has ruled.
And that means that if they're not doing the same, the pay should not be the same.
I agree. I agree.
But that's what that be saying.
We started by discussing in terms of the wages, and as I mentioned, there was a massive increase after the 1951, what I would call uprising, popularly known as Sky Red, to the lower class or to the working class. And that came, and that struggle was really the first act where the population was so organized. When I say the population, but the working class or the lower strata of society, for want of a better word, was so organized that they were able to get those kind of increase in salary. Later on, not only that, even in the 1951 settlement, we found that there was a decrease, as the guest last week mentioned, that people were working. They were working until you finish draw all the cocoa or pick all the cocoa or carry all the cocoa, to the boucans. But after 51, what you find happening is that you had structured hours. So you had to work at certain time, or you had a task, you could have finished your task earlier, or you could have do a day work, which was basically from 6 to 4. In some instances, sometimes it started from 6 to 2. So that's what was happening. And next significant thing we need to say is that there was also what you call morning work. And the morning work had to do with, before you go to work, you had to get feed for the animals, etc. That too was discontinued. And the estate owners, in particular, had to pay for that. So there was a major increase, and all these actions were brought about because of Geary. He introduced roundabout in Grenada. There was 3 main ones in all the time. So he introduced roundabout, which seriously eased the level of transport in Grenada. He brought in Expo. Now, Expo was a major success. Now, Eric Matthew Geary had lobbied other islands from within the Windward Islands and have it as a Caribbean activity. But coming down to the wire, most of them pulled out, recognizing that it was basically a Grenadian action. All the activities were held in Grenada. Chublu was totally transformed. Chublu got it tooling. For matter of fact, there are reports that a plane actually landed down there at one time during Expo 69. So there was major attention brought to Grenada in 69 because of Expo.
Now, pause, let me ask you a question. Who introduced Kayak in the middle of the road for vehicle to go wrong? I don't know about you. Greater, listen to me. You have some Bajan at time I came here. You know, Bobby, those are some nice big room about there.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing with Barbados. Yeah, some day try to come here at time. They laugh with wrongs about them too much. You know? Yeah, some kind of wrongs about. You know, you have a little wrongs about when you go up Market Hill. No Market Hill, when you go up Cemetery Hill. And you reach up in the flag.
That
next little piece.
Yes.
Yeah, the wrongs about it.
That's wrongs about that.
So yeah, that time, I coming up there. A boss come out from town thinking. So I leave, I going up straight. The conductor of people telling me I'm supposed to stop because I'm supposed to give way to traffic on my right.
Yes.
Yes, what? So,
yes.
So, all I tell you, all right, so if that is the case, why you don't go wrong the wrongs about? Because you know that you're supposed to pass, you have to pass on the left.
Okay.
Go wrong.
But in the roundabout thing, really, that because we drive on the left, you're supposed to give way to the traffic on the right.
Give way to traffic on the right.
Where that rule come out? That rule in the highway code?
No, yes, Godfrey. In North America, you give way to the traffic on the left because they're driving on the right-hand side. It means that we drive on the left.
But I don't know if that rule they in the highway code in Grenada.
Yes.
I can't say, but it is a rule.
I don't find so.
Yes, Godfrey,
It is well, I ain't arguing, but
But think about it. If we don't have
no. I'm not saying it's not so. I'm just questioning whether in fact it is a written rule. Well,
it's supposed to be. I mean, I cannot remember reading the highway code in a long time. But
it's a written rule. You have to give way to traffic on the right in the wrong side.
Where you right?
You're right. We're driving. You're right.
But I don't feel that right. No way.
Well, Godfrey, how else we go operate if that?
I am not saying it is wrong. I'm just saying.
What are we doing? Just give way to traffic on your left.
I'm giving you traffic on the right. And if I come in and on the right side and a man don't give way to me, I penalty in water.
Well, yeah.
I penalty in water. But
let me tell you something. Spectator, man. Spectators see trouble to figure out the right and left and the driving. So let's speculate you wrongs about. Spectators have to have the penalty to figure out that I'm right hand. To know where you have to watch for to stop, you know. Are they the man? Are they the book?
So that was the roundabout. And
so
now we have
you don't know that answer.
No, you asked me why we put the tires. I don't know about the tires. I mean, maybe at one time there were tires, but now I think we have some real beautiful. We have some beautiful one. We have Alien Frantic. We have two roundabouts very, very close. The one close to the Botanical Garden, well done, looking nice. I think that one was since then. The Alien Frantic. For a matter of fact, out in the country now, like in Plains, Latas area. We have a nice one, I think, taken care of by the Cooperative Bank. Let me see where we have one in Paradise by Susan.
Yeah, I know wrongs about too.
I find they must name a wrongs about after me.
All right. So we have that. Scholar, you want to give the answer, or you want me to move on?
No, I will tell you the answer.
Right. So and then Jerry also he introduced police, female police into the police force. We had the first governor, Dame Hilda Bino. We also had the first Miss World. We had a lot of women were promoted. Also people like Gloria Payne Banfield, those persons as CABSEC. We had an ambassador, I think, to New York. So a lot of women were promoted in that era, unlike before. But also something that is very, very significant about the Geary era, that people that look like me, as dark as I am, they were not able to get work in the banks and in a few other places, etc. We were highly discriminated against. It's not written on the book, but we just were not.
You hear us? We were highly discriminated against. People that look, black like you. Men.
So, so,
How is discriminated against?
so, so, Gary, because of Gary, that landscape changed. And I think people underestimate the impact of that. The impact of the fact that for once people start feeling that they had some kind of ownership to Grenada because of his advocacy and the reward that came with it. They now he championed the cause and give them that sense of self-worth, self-value. Not just to women, but for people that were black as I am. He also lowered the age in 22 from 21 to 18 of the voting rights. Again, making you be a lot more responsible or feel a lot more responsible and encouraging the youths to be part of the democratic process in Grenada. Very significant, and next very significant, probably a milestone. That one is really, really large, huge. The program that enacted Land for the Landless, that created several settlements like in Telescope and Montu and Frequenty, whereas up in the countryside, I don't know. Land for the Landless, where poor people that never had anything, they were at the whims of the estate owners. And while they are the estate owners, let me say, so you had if we were to go to slavery, you had the Europeans owning the estate. And then when after the 1838, and then we start having a series of absentee owners, what we find that the lands, when they abandoned Grenada, they sold the lands to people that were of indentured servant heritage, right? So the Indians, the Nayaks, the Copelands, a few of those persons, the Gales, they became property owners. So we still, the vast majority of the populace still did not own anything. And it was difficult to get, your rights to have your cattle, to graze your cattle. You had to be, you had to have the favor of the estate owners. But what Gary did was to allow a lot of the people that were the laborers to own a piece of land. So then this, agriculture definitely mushroomed over the variety of agricultural production. So people now were planting potatoes, they had the yams, they had peas, etc. They had different things that they planted. Unlike before on the estate, most of the crops planted was for export purpose. It was commercial, but now people were doing subsistence farming, planting and growing food to feed their family. And likewise, there was a lot of bartering and exchange of those things. Small animals were grown to feed families. So there was a definite leap. Apart from the increase in pay, you had people now owning a lot of the lands. And there was also healthcare, major expansion in primary healthcare and nurses program that was enacted under Giri. So instead of everybody didn't have to go to the hospital, there were a lot of clinics and doctor quarters all over Grenada to ensure that people had access to health care. Giri also built the most schools, both primary and secondary and schools, and also technical schools in Grenada by a large, very, very large margin. Even the Happy Hill was completed by the revolution, and it was named, I think, Bernadette Bailey's school at one time. It actually was started by Giri. Apart from that, again, we move into the educational aspect. So you had the educational aspect. People got scholarship from primary school, then to secondary school, and a few persons started getting scholarship to go to Guyana. I know of persons that get scholarship to go as far as Australia, and I believe two persons, I think Vida Bruno and Joe Belisander, benefited from that. But you also have people like Marcel Peters and some of the other persons got scholarship and went to Guyana and trained. So Gary did a lot in that regard. So I just wanted to highlight as much as I could remember in the short space of time. Of course, there was the other part of Gary. So people that endear to Gary, they love that man. They love the man because he lifted them. Grenada became a beacon in the world, and Grenada became a beacon under his leadership. But there was a next, from 70 to 73, with the advent of Joel and the combination later in 76 with the alliance, Gary started getting steep. No, we don't reach it in 76 because that was before independence. So in 70s, 71, 72 era, with the emergence of New Joel, what we find happening that there was intense opposition to Gary rule. Now, some of the opposition to Gary had to do with the fact that Gary was the only one of his kind, a guy out of the countryside, a guy that looked as black as I am, a guy that didn't come from the force in that part of the world, that did not come from the middle class or the upper class, but he was a premier, right? And he was flexing his muscles. So people was very uncomfortable and not able to trust him for that level. One, he didn't go to a secondary school, and two, he came from a part of the country that was not deemed to be able to produce leaders of his ilk. So he got a lot of opposition. And if you look at the dogma, the teaching, the theories of socialism or the New Joel movement, everything they talk about, everything they propose, as it relates for methods of development, Gary actually was implementing those things on it. The transfer of wealth from the rich to the poor, Gary was already doing that. The liberation in terms of the education, the voting age, lowering of the voting age, everything that they were talking about in terms of the positive things of socialism, Gary was already implementing those things. But they were preaching an ideology based on the fact that to replace that, but we wanted solidarity with the working class. So I don't think that was one of the areas that was really different. The working class had to do with the fact that the poor people from Grenada should be having alignment with the poor people in America, the poor people in Germany, and we were called the working class, which was totally not practical. In our neck of the woods, it really didn't make sense because the poor people or the working class in Germany, England, and France didn't want to have anything to do with us, and there was no natural ground for solidarity. Yeah. There's something significant that I want to say also. Gary had engaged people like Rasta Nanan and the Rastas from Grambras. And in his time, that was visionary, and giving them land and working with people that challenge it. I believe that was really significant also. Later on,
Gary was a hero?
He was a hero. For some people, he was a hero. On the other hand, what we find happening when you had Bloody Sunday and Bloody Monday, the group of 22, they actually came out, they demonstrated, and for about 3 months prior to election, the country was almost shut down. Most of the utility companies were not working. So some of the major unions, they shut their door. Major protests. So later on, you find that Gary forces, and there are 3 main forces. So let me just say, Scholar did ask that question last week. I was leaving it for the guests to deal with. One, you had what we sometimes call the Mongols Gang, and I think the guest last week, Delbert, mentioned and explained what was the Mongols Gang. But the Mongols Gang did, at some of those major activities, pick up the battle and etc. And the Mongols Gang was mainly guys from the tongue, mainly from St. George's, most of the Mongols Gang. And then you had what we call the secret police. Now, the secret police were guys that Gary recruited. And those guys recruited went around and they did terrorize a lot of people. What was quite mischievous, unfortunate about the secret police is that they terrorized people sometimes that was not even politically aligned. They terrorized people that was even the children of Garyites, you know. So there was a Duffers Commission that actually ensured that the secret police was disbanded simply because of the way they were about creating fear and terror in society. The GVC, what we call the Green Beast, was a legal entity. They got disbanded after the 79 revolution. So there was a legitimate force, like the police force. So we had people within the police force also. And I mean, as I said last week to you, Scholar, I'm from an area that witnessed, that saw them. We had the Bonyan, the Waterbelly, we had the Belma, we had some of those persons and then within the police force that actually they use a lot of strong arm technique in order to deal with opposition to Gary. So in a nutshell, I think we could take some other comments. I've been talking for a long time. We could look at it, we could go to the lines and guys.
No, not yet. I've got 2 questions I want to ask you. Starting where you just ended. When you say people like Bellman, Bonnie and them use strong arm tactics, what that mean? Explain that one.
But strong arm, but Godfrey, we both from the same area, so you know what I know. So, I remember one night I was home, and I heard a gunshot.
There's no big people, no man. There's no big people out there one night and things. So big flag people.
I was home, and I heard a gunshot, and I swear, I mean, time maybe now I get old. I think maybe that it may not be correct, but within 10 seconds, my mother's door broke open, and my brother was on the ground. He was shot. So I say that to say that now I say my brother was 100% innocent, but I don't know him in any major mischief. But what was unfortunate that you met somebody by the road, so the car came, stopped, guy started to run, and you fire a bullet. And that was something that happened. I also remember tales of being in school, coming out, going to lessons, and then you'd see the truck with the police and the different vehicles, and then gunshot firing and cocks, tree branch breaking, and everybody had to scatter. So I am saying all that to say that some of those guys and them use strong arm techniques. Now, if you want me to clarify that, Tivoli, we were not always 100% innocent. So I don't want to go into detail. I don't want to say that traitor. Push come to shove, I would say it, but we were not always innocent. So when Scholar last week was mentioning about his dad, I keep on, for the whole week, I keep on laughing, and Scholar, you had to come with me. Mr. Hensley, it is all in joke. But I believe if that had happened today, we would say it's a prank. Scholar father, but in Tivoli, men don't come in and whisper on top and say, well, they're looking for you. You're getting it, so.
And from all wrong,
yes.
The very same people who protested came back and do worse,
Well, no, but again, so let me just start with Tivoli, and let me be brutally honest here. So there was a lot of things that happened in Tivoli, and Tivoli was the village that was targeted. In Tivoli, Bishop and them used to come and hide a lot of times. I remember I can name places where they used to hide, one of them being in the tannery. But again, it was in Tivoli that some of the explosives were removed from Wimpy. Godfrey, I don't know if you know about that, and brought into Tivoli. It was in Tivoli that some of the guns that came from Cadet, from PVC, was stolen and ended up in Tivoli. So, and there was a lot of other things that I would not say. So we were not totally innocent. And some of the things that happened where the police and them had to act, it was because of a lot of provocation. The revolution had the guys in the NJM had the best propaganda arm ever executed. They have demonized. Last week when Reece said that she never heard anything good about Gary. as a child, it's only as an adult. I mean, they had the best propaganda arm, making you feel that, you know, that this man did nothing good. I mean, growing up as a little boy too, I was told that Fidel Castro used to make people marry to donkeys. And I believe that. So, I mean, the propaganda was such that they have demonized Gary, who had lifted this poor group of people way above their means to make them feel a sense of who they are as a nation. And he was deep.
Doc, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, and I'll be honest with you. Right? When Reece said that last week, I marveled at that as well, right? I marveled at that because it is something that I think universally, I believe that, because I've always heard it that way, that Gary started off brilliantly. I've never heard that being disputed. As a matter of fact, since we were a little boy in school, I was a little fella, I had to play Gary. That time I'm going to be in like a standard, like a drop. I had to play Gary and play and thing. And little woman coming and talk about me, I'd make them wear panty and all this stuff. So we always knew that people say Gary that make them no panty and Gary give them land, and Gary was this man that came and fought for workers and so on. I don't think you have a dispute over this thing, you know. I think the thing is, the narrative is that Gary started off good, but he didn't end as he journeyed. And then you could understand why, right? Because you become that way based on the kind of opposition you get from and how heated it was. So Gary had to react in like manner, right? They say to every action there's an equal but opposite reaction, and I figure that is where it went. But to say that the propaganda was such that we never hear nothing about Gary, and as a matter of fact, I would say that even today, Gary is featuring favorably in Grenada's history as the father of independence. All of a sudden, the father of independence is a nice glowing thing. Gary have a nice statue. They love the statue and so on. You know, Bishop and these people don't have no statue. Gary a statue. Gary a thing. So to me, this generation has somehow, you know, the word has spread, and they have lifted Gary up. And especially around now, Independence time, I mean, Gary is the man. Gary is prominent in the thing. So I don't subscribe to that notion that the propaganda made that thing that Gary was such and Gary was such. He did, but it always was that Gary started good. That's how I always knew it.
Well, Scholar, I am agreeing with you. Because everything that you say is happening now, including the statue of some years ago, all that is in my adult life. He being the father of independence, all that is in my adult life.
So you never as a child, they said that Gary made...
Yes, as a child. No, those things were not, because I am from the era of the revolution, the fall of the revolution, and
me too.
You know,
me
yeah.
Too.
So he was not spoken about, except in the context of GULP, the Garyites, and the Garyites were not a term where, in my mind,
no endearment in that word.
Those were like.
Derogatory.
The right people, the right thinking people, they were like people that just hold on to Gary because of what he did for them. So it was almost like favoritism, right? Maybe nepotism. but Gary was not spoken about, like how you find people doing monologues and you're seeing the pictures and the paintings and how we talk about the Father of Independence and the statue. Right now, I have a different consciousness of Gary's contributions to Grenada. And that is why I say, well, a hero can be perfect. And he has done so much for us, so much firsts. And you can't change firsts, right?
Yeah.
So how I see Gary now, and the amount of times I heard about Gary, and in a very, and I need to stop saying Gary, yes? So Eric Matthew Gary.
Eric Matthew.
In such a high esteem, while still talking about the things where he would have faltered. I am more appreciative of his contribution. I know more about it. So yeah, I still would maintain that maybe the mongering was there, Doc, but it didn't last.
But I think what has happened there?
Last.
What has happened?
Because today we are more aware in a positive way. We are talking about him and stuff. So the rumongering probably happened, but it didn't last.
Well, let me tell you what happened there. The reason why it didn't last, it was because they followed the revolution. The thing is, when the revolution took place, Doc is right. Gary was, badly demonized, and so at the time, nobody wanted to hear anything about Gary. When the revolution fell, and let me show you how popular Gary and his era was. When the revolution fell, don't forget the next election in Grenada.
1990.
GULP won 5 seats in that election. And that spoke to the strength of Gary's influence in Grenada still.
5, Godfrey. I wonder if it was 4.
Yeah, it was 5. Because NDC, and was it 5 or 4? NDC won 7.
4. And then Edzill,
Edzill was, remember, Edzill won on a GULP ticket, huh?
Yes, Edzill Thomas moved over to...
Yeah, so I think NDC was 7, and then you had...
7.
No, it wasn't 7. NDC won 7, GULP won 5, then there was somebody else won 2. And I think it was it NNP?
I'm not
got
so
2.
sure. Right?
Yeah. Remember, Mitchell had 2. And then Edzill, because there wasn't a majority, and Edzill crossed the floor, and then whatever. But it was all that split up. But the point is, it spoke to the influence of Gary still in Grenada. So it's after that, and you remember when Kit Mitchell became prominent. Don't forget how Mitchell was referred to as Gary's son. Because a lot of people felt that his kind of politics was similar to that of Gary. So all of these things sort of brought back the memories of Gary, and I think this is where his popularity and his work started to take prominence again. So the period of the revolution had almost probably wiped him out because of the same propaganda. But then it came back when the revolution fell apart.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. But I ain't fully agree.
So Godfrey, look at the clock. Look at the...
Let's take some comments. I think.
So we have Elaine Henry saying the principle is equal pay for work of equal value. The measure is the value of the job, not necessarily same job title and duties. So Marilyn said, I remember Expo, it was in True Blue. She also contributed a roundabout, which is Woodland Roundabout. Marilyn Gilbert is saying, I'm off-topic scholar. Are you preparing for Carnival or the retirement still on? Don't disappoint. Laughing out loud. Well, I tell her we don't bad you up all the and think about that already. Alor is saying, is it discrimination or prejudice? How much property Gary acquired for himself and his family? He also said, not the revolution that made education free, Doc. He's asking.
Of course, it's a revolution.
But you had not necessarily. No. I disagree. I'm not saying that they didn't, but there was free education in Grenada during Gary's time. Because remember,
universal. No. That Godfrey. Let me continue. There's something called universal free education. That was the revolution.
There was
you're right. No. I'm not saying no.
Let's not dispute that.
No, I am not disputing it, scholar. I'm saying there was also some levels of free education because children.
Universal.
Scholar, listen to me. During Gary's time, children who did common entrance and pass, they got free education into secondary school.
Me and you not saying this. Me and you saying the same thing.
Well, you the problem is you won't let me finish. You did not let me finish. You jump in front. You let me finish.
Same thing. That Gary had some people that had free, but
you did not let me. You did not let me finish as always. If you had allowed me to finish, you'd have here, but you ain't listening.
So then we see.
Universal.
Okay.
Right. So we continuing?
No, not disputing that.
Oh, God, scholar, let me see.
There you go.
Marilyn said, scholar, that she hope you stay on. It won't be good without you. We concur. Now, Alroy continues to say, Doc, Gary took advantage of poor educated Grenadians, just as NNP under Keith. Gary was no hero, you mean zero. He also said, Doc, strong arm tactics, you mean brutality of the citizens. Doc, trying to justify brutality, man. You sound like a Republican. Then Marilyn Bradshaw is saying, all the... Wait. Hold on, guys. Right, so she's saying, all what y'all talking about brutality, our family had it as well. We had it because my mother would always vote for him. And when Bishop came into power, my mom was the first woman they arrested and put her in Richmond Hill prison. It tears us apart. All politicians is not perfect. Show me a perfect person. We live in hell under Bishop. Ronnie Slinger said, some said that he had a very strong arm and used it against businesses like the Grenada Beach Hotel. I wonder what was his salary back then. And the last comment here is Marilyn saying, does anyone know anyone knows that Bishop put a woman in Richmond Hill prison? Grenadians do not know these things. My mom was an innocent woman. I still have nightmares about it. So, yeah. Now, some comments on YouTube. Elvis is saying, good night, all. Keeping myself enlightened and entertained and educated tonight. I love the topic. He's on the job. Alexis is saying, so why then some women did go and why them same women did go and fuck up land? That was too laborious. Then someone at Mandisa is saying, good night, everyone. Scholar is absolutely funny, belly full of laughter. Magdalene is saying, this man is in a cold country. He always have a scarf around his neck. That's Godfrey. And Matthew is saying, Moncton Estate was part of the land for the landless. Mm-hmm. And Mandisa is saying, Reece, you go, girl. Right, so that's the comments.
Not much on the WhatsApp. Let me see what I've got here. Somebody said we must remember Mr. Marshall. I hope he's okay. You guys must big him up.
Yes.
Someone said, a man telling me he want to see you because he want to beg you for money or a drink.
Yeah.
And it says, I notice presently on MBIA, the men use the weed eaters while women use rakes. Not sure if the salary is the same. So that's all the comments on the WhatsApp platform. So yeah, we practically out of time.
Let's see if we get at least a call now.
Let's go to the telephone. We Culture, good evening.
Godfrey,
hey.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I listened to Reece talking about land for the landless and this and that. All government are the thing, but there's a transition from PRG, from Gary to PRG. In PRG term, they took that show that there was show that government is a continuum. They took land for the landless, and they renamed it idle lands for idle hands. They took the public, the NTS, National Transportation Service, NTS, I made it PTS. Yeah, they continue with the school program. Yeah, and they continue what Gary did, because when Gary says free education, remember most of the schools in Greater were denominational schools. I think the second school, I think there are 52 Catholic schools or whatever Catholic schools in the country. Gary started to pay the teachers. That's why you get this free education. Because I remember when I went to school, they used to give you $12 for books and pay and your school fees was paid, and it was paid the teachers. Some schools teachers started getting paid in 1983 when PRG came in, right? So they were a continuum, and these are the things. I mean, that each government has their own not peculiar, but only particular way of serving people. Anyway, that's my contribution tonight.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. All right. So guys, we out of time. Wrap up. So, Reece, we're gonna start with you.
Well, last comment, Aloy is saying, is there disparity between men and women in today's society? There's a minimum wage act. And yes, there still is. So this evening was a good program. My heart raced a little faster and it didn't pop, which means that I'm in good working condition. I don't afraid none of all you, not a buy on that program. I don't afraid handling all you anytime. And I will maintain that I believe that Gary has made his mark and he has done things that no one else can boast of doing, whether it's good or even for those that they consider to be bad. I do think that it's about time we start naming some heroes, and he should be one of them. Not everybody's going to be happy, but so too not everybody's going to be happy if Morris Bishop was named a hero. As I said in the last program, I think it's only Kirani James everybody will be happy about. So I learned a lot as usual, and I'm looking forward to next week, if we have a next week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Finley, what you have to say?
Well, the time has flown. I guess Doc expatiated well. The absence of the guests. I mean, I was so looking forward to the guests.
Yeah.
Doc, I find I trust you again with his guest thing.
Actually, Scholar, while you're on it, I got a WhatsApp, and I think I should share it. Right. Somebody say, Scholar run the guest. Good thing to discuss. The word run. What do you mean by when you say somebody run you? Scholar run the guest. That is it.
Because the truth is that we use run a lot.
Yeah.
We always using run.
Yeah.
You run the man. You call him man Gary, I dog at the you run the man.
Yeah. But I feel the caller, the WhatsApper have a point, and I feel too Doc want to tell Scholar that. But you maybe tell the person to WhatsApp and say, Doc, just tell him man what you want to tell him that. Tell him you want to guess he's the reason why the man don't come back.
No, don't say that, man. I find we were I find we listen, we think, and the truth is that, as I said to you before, it's good to get a different perspective on the thing, and I'm sorry that we couldn't get somebody else because we heard a perspective like that. Remember we had Miss Banfield, Mrs. Payne Banfield. We had Reece, past principal,
Francis.
Mason, yeah.
Yeah, and they discussed that very same thing, but they were discussing it from a standpoint of first person.
Yeah.
They were there.
Been there, yeah.
And they witnessed a lot of things. I mean, we were told, and it's one of the stories from Oui Culture that I always take with me. I could never forget it no matter what. That somehow, for some strange reason, unexplained, I think that is one of the wonders of the world. They say in the world how much wonders you think. But that had to be a wonder of the world that Gary ended up judging Miss World, you know. I mean, how that happened, how that possible that a leader of a country end up judging an international pageant. So why that's the first time that happened, man. That would never happen again. Just from that standpoint alone, that will make Gary a hero. because it ain't easy to do that. There's nobody on the face of the earth, no leader, could manage that. And how Gary managed to do that, I mean, somebody had to write a book. That deserves, people in
investigation.
People in university here have to do some big
thesis on that.
Thesis on that. I mean, how
Gary should have got a Nobel Peace Prize. They must give him one.
Nobel Peace Prize.
How do you say it again? When somebody there to get a prize, what day is it again?
In posthumous. All that say Gary do and so on, and we hear Gary do land for landless thing. Gary do this and Gary bring what, and he bring school of medicine. I think the biggest thing that Gary has ever done is to judge that, end up judging a pageant, that international pageant. I can understand that. That's impossible. But he managed. So big up to Sir Eric Matthew Gary.
Eric Matthew Gary.
Late. Big up.
Doc.
So guys, my final take is that we are witnessing a man that I believe was way above his time. What he brought to Grenada to me was not material. I see Gary as one of those persons that was part of almost like the Pan-African movement, following the heels of Marcus Garvey. He seemed to be in the same part of Rastafarianism, the same part of Pan-Africanism, an appeal for us as a people to realize our full potential and to challenge the status quo, the establishment for years that was never challenged. I believe that is where Gary stands. That's where he stood. To challenge a young person born at what somebody would say like in the bush, and to come out and arise and to challenge the mighty empire, I think he speaks wonder, and he was way above his time. So I would like to salute that the work he did for us and putting us where we are now as a Grenadian people. And he was also consistent in the fact that Grenada was a leading island way before. It was the capital of the Windward Island at one time. And I believe that Gary was able to put Grenada on a pedestal. Unfortunately, our other brothers, etc., in the revolution did not see the value in what he was doing at the time. There was one person he spoke to, and let me just quote him. His name is Ivan Bola. And Ivan Bola was a fervent opponent to Eric Matthew Gary. For matter of fact, he picked up arms during the revolution to fight against Eric Matthew Gary. And after the fall, they met in New York, and Gary was saying to him, I was fighting for people like you, but you joined with others to try to destroy me. And Ivan said that stayed with him because even before Gary said that, he recognized that he was, in a sense, bamboozled, you know, and if he had to do it again, he would have never fight against someone that brought so much gain to the working class and to the poor people and to the rural communities. So I hope we can do at least ever so often a program like that and big up those persons that contribute to our society. So here we are.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know, I listened Doc, and Doc did well. And listening, and I'm wondering, but Uncle Gary do so much thing, and Bishop and them still overthrow him, Mike. Anyway, Saturday is Independence, guys. Tomorrow is National Colors Day. All you forget to wish people happy Independence.
Yes,
so
yes,
I wrote it to them.
You know, I want to, wish everyone happy Independence. 52 years.
On our behalf. On our behalf.
52 years. Tomorrow, people going to be out in their national colors and everything like that.
Are you already your long green scarf? Because I could get you on,
Yeah, please do.
You're always cool.
Please do. Yeah, I want one. And of course, a lot of workplaces, it's kind of now tradition that everybody cooking a little oil down somewhere and having a good time celebrating independence. So, I want to wish everyone happy independence from the team here, and that, as we celebrate independence, let's remember Uncle Gary. We will never let our leader fall. And
so Godfrey, are you going to eat? I hear you was asking about eating Ireland. Are you going to eat Ireland again?
Again?
We have to get to Bradford now. I want to Bradford now.
Let me just say, I went to the airport and I saw Godfrey with a big wash pan. Scholar, he said you was there. But Godfrey, if you eat Ireland in GBN, you can eat more Ireland, Godfrey.
Doc. Scholars see me, so you can see that. So scholars know you like. Scholars by me, forget.
Scholars will not have small wash pan yet.
Nah, you had a pot. You had a young pot.
I see all this jewel on them. I know good.
You had a young pot of juice, man.
All of this jewel, I don't want meet it up. I don't want meet it up.
I make you in the thing.
In what thing?
I ask you if you're going and buy Ireland. You tell me how your wife mother have a big pot coming down. You don't go in the thing. When I come and I check yours, I'm eating a young pot Ireland.
You beat me a pot. By what? By Wobby and do it. Wobby and do it.
But let me just ask you one little question before you.
What?
You see?
Yes.
If we used to get paid for We Culture, right? All of us doing the same thing, right?
Right.
Between me, you, Livingston, me, you, Godfrey, and Doc, we try getting more pay tonight.
Well, here, first of all,
I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear you.
Just answer the question.
That is not true. All of us are not doing the same thing. But no, all of us are not doing the same thing. But
we are the same title.
All of us have all of us have different unique things that we do that the others doesn't. So the value is balanced. So
no. Hold on. No. Reece.
Let me explain. Godfrey sit on there bumping the gum, but he doing the technical part. Okay? Right?
Godfrey, let me start the program.
I sit on bumping the gum, but I'm also searching the social media and sharing the stuff and things. Not sit on bumping the gum, but he doesn't have to do research. You is the only one that don't get in much, because it's only confusion you must make on the show,
But you see,
okay, so
I agree.
Confusion.
But in the same way, I agree. You must agree that I have to get more pay tonight.
Watch me, you getting paid for bumping your gum and making confusion. So everything.
No, Scholar. I think you make a little mistake there, you know. She go end up getting the most pay, you know, because she will take that pay. She go take so
no money
so
to go by the rum shop.
she getting she pay plus that pay, you know. So
All the time.
anyway, guys, thank you all so much. And I'm sure sometime tomorrow we'll hook up. So, folks, thank you all. Have a happy Independence. I will be back next Thursday for another We Culture. Have a good night. All the best.
All right.
Raise it high up the ladder. Let we set it on fire.